Okay, so now we're in the supporting psychological knowledge section of the self-compassion module. So studying human psychology and being in the mental health field teaches you that being a human is an incredibly difficult experience. I mean, just being a human teaches you that also, but especially if you study human behavior in psychology and you work with other people in some capacity, you will learn that to an even greater degree. Most of us did not have all of our physical, mental, or emotional or spiritual needs met during the developmental period of our childhood. Not because our caregivers were necessarily bad people, but because they didn't have their needs met either and were doing their best with what they had. Also, our current society is tempting you at every corner, pretty much literally, to do things that will harm you in the name of profit. We live in a very challenging world determined to throw you off balance. Yet, many of us do not see our context and what we're truly up against. Instead, we turn our anger and pain inward and we criticize ourselves for not being able to do better in a mad world. We may also have heard our caregivers criticizing themselves or us or others, and we internalize that voice to try to keep ourselves safe. This leads to self-hatred and the development of the inner critic. The inner critic will soak up any and all societal programming to use as a ruler with which to measure your worth. You will never be thin or fit enough, attractive enough, smart enough, or just generally enough for the inner critic, no matter what you do. Our inner critics are like narcissistic abusers. Their messages aren't meant to actually help you, but meant to serve the ego to try to keep it safe from rejection, ridicule, etc. It's up to us to become aware that our inner critic voice will never get us to where we want to go and break up with it. You may not be able to control what it says to you, but you can control whether or not you believe what it says and if you base your behavior on it. Having an inner critic shaming you for everything you do and don't do makes it incredibly difficult to move from an imbalanced life to a balanced one. Despite what our society clearly believes, shame is not a good motivational tool. I'm going to say that one more time because it's very important. Shame is not a good motivational tool, but we think it is. It's not. What does help motivate you is changing that inner critic to an inner cheerleader that has compassion for how hard life is and how hard change can be. According to Kristen Neff's extensive research on this subject, as discussed in her book, Self-Compassion, The Proven Power of Being Kind to Yourself, self-compassion has a significant positive association with happiness and positive mood, optimism, wisdom, personal initiative, curiosity and exploration, agreeableness, conscientiousness, and extroversion. Self-compassion also prevents occupational stress, burnout, compassion fatigue, and secondary traumatization from mental health workers and other direct care providers.